Ahora mismo estamos en una sala muy especial, una sala donde el tiempo se para. ¿Por qué? Porque en los vinos Banyuls oxidados tradicional necesitamos justamente parar el tiempo, y con este tipo de cubas de madera que tienen una memoria aromáticas vamos a envejecer los Banyuls dejándolos en contacto con el oxígeno, con el aire, para justamente hacer una evolución de los aromas, del alcohol, de los taninos, de todo, para después de unos años, más o menos 6, 8, 10 años, para justamente acompañarlo a la botella, y después va a ser un vino que puede envejecerse de nuevo muchos años, hasta casi eternal, en botella.
Hello.
I know, look at the scenery. This is absolutely amazing. This looks like I'd say we look like little dwarfs here sitting down in all these. These are just small casks. We're just small people. Miniature bottles. But yeah, I suppose we're lucky to get a chance to come up here to Banyuls.
Absolutely. And the place is stunning.
Yeah, unreal.
Goes without saying.
The trip was pretty cool as well. But I suppose the main reason why we are here is because we've got Banyuls wine and we've got Irish whiskey that aged in Banyuls casks.
Yeah, sweet casks.
Aquí entramos en otro lugar, se llama la Côte Vermeille, con 4 comunas: Collioure, Port-Vendre, Banyuls y Cerbère. Son los Pirineos que llegan y que caen en el mar Mediterráneo. Entonces tenemos un viñedo de montaña, con un suelo muy pobre, muy rocoso, de schiste. Y también tenemos la influencia marítima del mar Mediterráneo. Y todo eso hace un conjunto que, todo eso mezclado con la cepa garnacha, que está muy adecuada en esta zona, y con eso tenemos una materia prima, una uva, que está muy madura, con grados alcohólicos muy fuerte potencial, pero que guarda su lado frutoso, y con eso podemos lograr el desarrollo de un vino como el Banyuls. Esta forma de tener un vino dulce, fortificado, es algo especial en Francia. Es una zona muy especial, con un clima muy especial, con mucho sol, que logra tener una madurez exacta, con muchos azúcares, justamente para poder tener unos vinos fortificados. Pero en otra parte de Francia no se podría. Y aquí hasta vamos a envejecer el Banyuls afuera, al sol. Entonces aquí se dice que hay mucho sol. El sol hace crecer la uva, pero también con vamos a envejecer el Banyuls. ¿Okay? Vale. Entonces es un caso muy extremo porque, como les dije antes, sube la temperatura mucho durante el día. Claro. En invierno hasta puede bajar mucho, pero la diferencia de temperatura hace que el proceso de oxidación va a empezar mucho más rápidamente y se activa de manera mucho más fuerte. ¿Okay? Pero hay mucha perdición también. Cada año son 3,5% que se van al aire. Sí.
Por eso no tienes las grandes fuera, porque es demasiado.
Exactamente.
Es un perdido demasiado grande. Ah, vale, pues mira.
Esa es una base solamente para agregar a la mezcla en porcentaje muy bajo, pero es como la sal que se agrega al final.
So the wine was oxidated.
Yes. It's like what happens when you cut an apple and leave it out in the air. The air oxidizes it, right?
And it goes
but that is what's after happening.
Yeah, you're absolutely bang on.
Yeah,
it's good analogy.
It made the grapes rusty. Rusty grapes.
But yeah, no, it's a lovely looking colour. It's a really interesting colour. It's a really dark, kind of rich colour. Very similar colour actually to the.
Well, yeah, you'd expect it though in a way.
you?
I'm very curious to try it because if this is like a sweet wine and I love sweet things, then that whiskey should be tasty. Should we give this a go?
Oh yeah, I've been waiting all day to try this stuff. I actually never tried.
Me neither. I never tried anything
like that.
this.
Like obviously you had your, dessert red wines and all that.
Yeah.
You lash that back after,
Cheers.
Cheers. What do you get straight away? Popcorn. It's actually very similar to what you smell in here, really.
It's exactly what you smell in here.
The minute you walk in.
When the second we walked in here, it was like, woof, that's what that smells
like. Bang of it. Orange.
Orange?
I always smell orange in there.
You do, don't you?
I love orange, yeah.
It does smell very citrusy, though. It is citrusy.
I think so, yeah. Right.
Let's go. That is lovely.
Wow. Reminds me of a sherry. It does remind me of a sherry, but it's a lighter sherry. It's like a summery.
No, that is fabulous.
Yeah, that's class. It's very sweet though. It's just that sweet, natural fermentation. I think that builds up.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. It kind of smells.
But it reminds
like
me
a sweet bacteria or something, but like no, but not in a bad way at all. Like just a really kind of.
It reminds me of Christmas as well. I don't know. Maybe some
bit of
drinking
cinnamon.
sherry and cinnamon. Yeah.
Cinnamon rolls, caramel slices.
God, laced. The mother was it? What did the mother used to make? The sherry, the cake.
Tiramisu.
Was it? With sherry?
Does tiramisu have sherry in it?
No.
Yeah, it does.
Does it?
I don't know.
Does it? Do you ever have tiramisu with sherry in it?
There is.
What does there? Your place for Christmas. Pink tiramisu we handed out everywhere.
No, that is really nice. Cada uno tiene un sabor diferente, ¿no?
Exactamente.
Ninguna está igual.
Ninguna está igual. Y la fuerza después de los vinos de Banyuls es la mezcla. Entonces mi trabajo principal va a ser hacer variar una cantidad de cada cuba justamente para llegar al objetivo final y mantener una constancia de calidad dependiendo del año.
Wow. ¿Y cuántos litros está en cada uno?
Estos más o menos 80.000 litros cada uno.
Vale, enorme.
Enorme, sí. Y por la historia, estas cubas tienen más de 100 años, entre 100 y 150 años. Han tenido otra vida antes de envejecer los Banyuls.
¿Ah, sí?
Sí, porque esta bodega se armó en 1950 y estaban envejeciendo vinos también de la zona de Perpiñán, Rivesaltes. Okay. Vale. Tenían ya una historia, tenían aromas, tenían algo. Y llegaron por el mar, porque no pasaban por la ruta.
Sí, claro, te iba a preguntar cómo los transportaron.
Entonces, en la playa de Argelès-sur-Mer, desarmaron todas, planchas, placa por placa, vinieron a la playa de Banyuls por barco y se armaron de nuevo aquí. Wow. Se necesitó un año más o menos para armar todas estas.
¿Un año?
Sí, un año, sí.
So while I was busy
hosting
another podcast, another episode.
Yes.
I
was off gallivanting.
Gallivanting,
yeah.
Where?
Just around Breslau and Menorca for a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful place, actually.
Fab.
Yeah, it really is. White sand beaches.
Oh, stuff.
These little mini coves. Not like the cove in Cork, but as the Americans like to call it.
What they don't call it cove though, they call
Cobb H.
They do
Cobb H.
not call it Cobb H.
C-O-B-H. So you imagine it's Cobbage or Cobb H. Like, do you know the way to Cobb H?
And what, you've no idea what they're asking for?
You know, because they've been asking for years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure, that's what it was. That's why they were mad for going there, because it was the last stop. It was the last stop for the Titanic. Before it sank.
Yes.
So they're really hanging on that, right?
I've never been there.
You've never been there? No. So it was like Belfast and then Cove.
And then they set off.
And then set off.
And sank.
And sank. Why are you laughing?
No, I'm not.
But they set
Just,
off.
I said it so starkly and like without emotion, but like
they
it
did.
was a terrible event.
Why they went to Cove? Because they were collecting the last few passengers before. I don't know. Was it Belfast? Was it Belfast, Liverpool?
Yeah,
and then Cork.
Did they actually stop off in Cork? I thought they just.
Well, there's pictures of the Titanic all over Cove. I mean, you go into pubs, it's there, you get pictures, there's a Titanic centre.
Oh, really?
And you expect it to come right in, you know, into the harbour. And like, I was always wondering, like, why isn't there any pictures of the Titanic in Cove?
But there is, you just said they're up all over the place.
Yeah, there's pictures of the Titanic all over Cove.
Oh, but none of them are actually in Cove.
Are actually in Cove.
This is like a man on the moon thing, like, was it even there?
Well, yeah, you were kind of wondering, like, where was it? It was docked outside the harbour, and they had shuttle boats in and out bringing people onto the ship. So it never actually docked in Cove.
Oh no.
But they have the Titanic Centre and Cobb H. So I think people are duped into thinking that it was like the last place before the Titanic sank. But the reason, I suppose, the main reason was because it was like really bad weather or something like that, and it couldn't actually come in. Couldn't find its way into the harbour. It was really choppy or something like that, so it just docked outside. So we'll take that.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah, you know.
I'd say if it even tried to get in such choppy weather, it might have sank there and then. Like,
it probably would have done him a favour, actually.
Yeah, because then everyone would get off.
Yeah.
So you went to a few Cobb H's in Menorca.
So I went to a few Cobb H's in Menorca.
White sand Cobb H's.
And there was no pool tables though.
What?
In there.
Why is this important? Oh, this is such a bloke thing. Like, couldn't play pool on my holidays.
When I went, like, Cove is outside of Cork City. It's about half an hour drive, you know, so I'm from Cork City. And me and my friend, we decided to go out one night down in Cobb H, because I was actually living just outside Cove at the time. And my brother was like, right, whatever you're doing, don't go in to this bar. Right? He gave me the name, whatever. And we're like, yeah, we're grand. There's no bother there. Cove is Cove. But Cove is notorious for being a bit kind of rough and ready.
Oh, is it?
This is like the Navy is based there. It's a port town. It's a bit secluded. It's a bit outside everywhere else. You know, there's one way in, one way out, a little bridge. So everyone knows
it sounds like something out of a terror, scary movie.
You know, and there's always stories about Cove, but like, you know, when you're there, you're living there, you have to go out and you have to experience it. So me and my buddy went to go down there anyway, John, and we decided to have, you know, a drink before we went down. We lashed into a bit of wine and floated on down the road into Cove, and kind of knew about, you know, where each pub was. You know, there was the Mauritanian, there was Tarrant's, there was Kelly's. Kelly's is renowned for its whiskey. You know,
heard about
Kelly's, yeah. So, and so we rocked into the first bar. Pool tables there, playing the pool.
Happy
no
days.
No one there, you know,
tables.
happy out. Fellas at the bar, whatever, and realising, you know, two fellas are just kind of staring at us, you know, as we're playing away.
Okay.
And you know, you have certain rules when you're playing pool. You can play, you know, pick a pocket, or you can do no back table. You know, you can do all different rules depending where you are.
Can you?
I don't know.
I don't play a lot of pool.
All right, so you can either pick a black, you know, or pick a pocket for the black.
All right, okay, yeah.
Or, you know, you can't do back table, or you know, you've all different rules.
Okay.
And supposedly, we were playing the wrong rules in this bar.
What? According to for who?
According to these bios.
Bios
at the bar. And they're like,
and they were not happy about it.
You can't play those rules on here at all.
What?
So
what did they
I
care?
was like, we were playing away. We're like, sorry? Can't play those rules on here at all.
They were just looking for a fight.
I don't know. So we were like, all right, we're just finishing up anyway. So we're finishing up a game of pool. And next thing you know, we were probably taking a bit too long to finish up. They probably wanted to play next.
Okay.
We were getting our money's worth.
Yeah.
So we were playing away, stretching it out, having a drink of Guinness, going out for a cigarette.
Yeah.
They were probably going, these, you know, they knew we weren't from there, of course. And they were like, you're using my pool cue there. You know, that's my buddy's pool cue you're using.
What's
So like,
there?
we were John's like, why did your buddy carry around this in a slinky or what? To
In
see,
a
you know,
slinky.
is this his pool cue? Like, so we finished up in a man, we headed out, and so where did we go to next? We was like, right, we leave this bar anyway. We get out there. As we're coming in, another crowd come busting in the door, and they're kind of bouncing off us, whatever. So
Really, like,
we'll head off here. We'll go down to Kelly's. We'll have some red breast, and we'll have a Guinness because we're on the Guinness, and we'll have a red breast. And so we're lashing to the red breast, and fucking hell, we're like, right, we need to get out of here because there's a few dodgy souls around, shifty boys around here. We're getting asked for cigarettes. We're getting asked where we're from. We're getting asked where we're living. So we were like, a guard been asking that question.
No.
To one fella, and he ran and said, "Huh? You a guard?" And we're like, "What?" We're like, "No, you're guards, ye?" And we're like, yeah, we're guards, yeah, we're guards.
And
I
they
knew you
believed
were
it.
pigs. We're like,
no.
here we go now. I was like, no, we'll finish up there and we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, no, we'll stay. I was like, man, we're gone, and just get into the taxi. Gone. And next morning anyway, I was telling the brother, I said, jeez, Rock Cove definitely is one of those places.
Was it like your first time there? Did you not know it was like that?
On a night out, like first time drinking around there.
Right,
I've gone down there during the day, and you experience the daytime there, but never like jumping around from pub to pub.
Okay.
And he said, where'd you go? I said, well, first of all, we went into Terrence. He said, the one pub I told you not to go into, and you went in there the first place. He said, if you went in there on a Saturday night, because we went in on a Wednesday, it was dead.
Oh,
he said, if you went in there on a Saturday night, playing pool like you were, taking your time, he said, you would have been, God enough.
I would have went another way.
He said, you'd have been carted out of it.
But why? What's the story? Because it's just really rough, or like?
It's a rough bar, like, yeah. So that's Cove.
So good in here. Oh yeah. Fills the nostril.
Aquí es una sala con cubas más chicas, ¿ok? Y vamos de la barrica de 600 litros hasta la cuba de 24.000 litros, ¿ok? O hay intermedios 5.000, 10.000, etcétera, etcétera. Y necesito tener esta variedad de capacidad, porque se van, dependiendo de la capacidad, del vacío, de muchas cosas, el vino se va a envejecer mucho más lentamente, mucho más rápidamente.
Sí.
El tipo de aroma que va a desarrollar va a ser diferente.
Claro. Huele un poco a chocolate aquí, ¿eh?
También, sí. Todo lo que se encuentra después en la cata de los vinos, aquí se va a desarrollar mucho más fuerte, o dependiendo del aroma, dependiendo del tipo de cuba. Y por eso que es muy escaso embotellar un vino que viene de una sola cuba. Yo a veces lo hice hace 3 años atrás. Tenía el nombre de la cuba, porque justamente el aroma que tenía el vino viene de esta cuba, ¿ok? Si no, estamos más pensando en mezclarlos para justamente agregar y sumar los aromas.
Vale.
Con lo que he probado yo, lo que he visto, hay un tipo de suavidad que se agrega a la fuerza del alcohol. Entonces, suavidad y una distinción, una complejidad de aromas, entonces, que se van a agregar sobre el whisky. Por ejemplo, estas notas de chocolate, de frutos secos, se van a agregar y se van a unir a todo lo que puede expresar el whisky. Pero sobre todo también encuentro que en la boca también va a ser mucho más suave y va a acompañar el whisky en algo un poco más, ¿cómo decirlo? Un poco más accesible.
Quite eager to get started on this. Was while the taste of the last one
is still there,
you know.
Let's see.
Right, I'm gonna drop this. God.
So not an easy pour.
It's quite warm
it's
in
whiskey.
Here.
It's whiskey,
quite warm
not
in here,
wine.
So like, I'm kind of sweating, and I feel like I'm going to drop the bottle. To be honest, I swear to God, it's all sun cream on me as well. Right.
It's the exact same colour. It's the exact same colour as it.
It's pretty similar, isn't it?
No, it's not pretty similar. It's the exact
You're
same.
right, it's the exact same. Okay. So, a single cask. So, going on what's been described, it's been in a bourbon barrel. Right. So, it's been aging the last 10 years in the bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
And it's been finished in the Banyuls wine cask.
As soon as I tasted the wine, I was excited to taste this.
Yes,
if it was anything like it, and it does smell pretty similar, but stronger, like more of a punch. I sweet out a bit.
So 43%.
43%. Single malt Irish whiskey, patiently matured in a first fill bourbon cask and then finished in a first fill Banyuls Grand Cru cask from France. Banyuls Grand Cru is a fortified aperitif. Did I say that right? Sweet red wine made using 75% Grenache Gris grapes from Côte Vermeille in the Pyrenees Orientals region of France.
Well, I don't have that.
It does smell sweet.
It's sweet, definitely. Caramel. Vanilla, very strong vanilla.
Very strong vanilla.
Again,
kind
orange. I always get orange.
You do,
again.
yeah.
I just love orange, but
it smells like a...
It's pleasantly...
delicate.
Pleasantly delicate. Ginger.
Ginger.
That spicy ginger.
Yeah, like sharp, kind of.
Cheers.
Salute.
Salute.
How do you say cheers in France?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he could hear me.
In French?
How do you say cheers in France? God, comment se dice salud en francés?
Santé.
Santé.
So we'll cheers that. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Santé. Wow. That's good.
That is nice. It is sweet. It lingers in your mouth.
There's a nice long kind of...
Yeah, it's like kind of just...
long taste. It's there.
It fizzles a little bit.
What are you getting after?
My mouth feels warm.
Well, vanilla. I'm getting really strong vanilla at the back end of that.
It's so strong it kind of, in a way, tastes burnt, but not in a bad burnt way.
Like a... Yeah, I suppose... Yeah, because they were talking about that, the Hyde actual whiskey itself.
Yeah.
It's coming from West Cork, Bandon.
Wasn't this is this the one that's named Hyde after the first Douglas Hyde?
Douglas Hyde,
the first president of Ireland.
That's what they were saying, that they're in honour of Douglas
Hyde.
In
honour of him, yeah, that was it.
When he first became president.
Yeah.
The charring, I think, with Hyde, definitely you can taste a little bit of smoke, like
smoky,
slightly, kind of
like a hint of burn, but not like
overly. No.
Definitely, like pick up on like the citrus notes, and it does go nice with the sweetness of it.
Yeah.
Imagine you had this at home.
Wouldn't last very long.
What wine will I have for my dinner tonight?
C'est el Banyuls es eternal, con el azúcar, con el alcohol, se puede guardar muchos años. ¿Ya?
Sí.
Y se envejece en botella y no hay ningún problema. Entonces, por eso que son botellas de aniversarios.
¿De?
Aniversarios. Hay mucha gente que compra un Banyuls para la fecha de nacimiento.
Claro.
Como regalo.
Sí, yo también estaba mirando dónde está mi año de nacimiento.
Sin duda, sin problema, hay un vino que está en buen estado.
Expensive.
1975 has been a good year, you can see that for sure.
Or a bad year, maybe there wasn't enough wine produced then.
That's a good question, actually.
Was that a really good year or a really bad year?
Good year, really bad year. 1975, completely gone.
Santé.
Santé, ching ching. So, you know. I was getting ahead of myself, trying to get it into me, trying to get it.
Sorry. I just had... Sorry, I just had a view of, like, from the bottom of your glass into your mouth, and it was like your tongue, like,
really,
you stuck it in, like.
Go again, so chin chin. So final verdict.
Take two. Ready?
Final verdict on this.
Final verdict.
You know, for me, I think it's a very young aged whiskey. You know, you can normally for young aged whiskies, it's very strong, powering flavors. You know, and I think with the Banyuls though, it really toned it back a little bit, softened the edges a bit. It just took it kind of chamfered.
But isn't that
chamfered it off?
Isn't
nicely.
that what wine does to your mood in general? That's why after a long day you're like, I'll have a glass of wine. It smooths the edges. You're like,
yeah, it does that.
I feel better, and so it did the same to the whiskey.
Yeah, the relationship between the two is actually
phenomenal.
Really good.
They go really well together.
Something unique,
definitely.
And it's definitely something I'll be having again. You know,
absolutely,
hands down.
And I love wine anyway, so to try a wine that's so different to red or white or rosé, and then to try a whiskey that's so smooth and sweet, like,
because of the Banyuls.
Because of the Banyuls,
exactly. Yeah,
it's like it's a win-win for me.
Brilliant.
Really enjoyed it. Cheers
chin
to
chin.
that. Chin chin. Sante.
Sante.
Are we finishing with that? Because I was just telling him, like,
good.
that's.